Hello and welcome to White Glove Reviews. In this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about a question that was asked by a viewer in one of my other videos. And the question that I was asked was like, how do you change the battery on the Swiss Army knife? And I think it was about this one, the Swiss Army knife light. I don't remember the exact knife that the question was asked about, but it got me thinking. And one of the things that I learned from teaching class for years is generally if one person has a question, multiple people have a question about something. And so what I figure I would do is I would try and answer the question about how do you change the battery in your Swiss Army knife. And it's a little more complicated of a question than I thought on the surface. So there's a number of different Swiss Army knives, and I think I've got an example of pretty much every one of the styles of like how the batteries are in the knife. If I've missed one, let me know in the comments. I think I've got examples of all of the styles, but I'm not 100% sure. So the way you change the batteries varies, and if you check in the description, I ran across a PDF, a Victorinox PDF, that talked about changing the batteries in their various knives. And also there's a word of warning in the PDF about older models taking different sizes of batteries. So what I did in the description is I included a link to each of the knives that I'm talking about, and I also included a link to the battery that's supposed to work for them. But the problem is some of the older versions of the same knives apparently take different batteries. So what you're going to want to do is double check the battery in your knife before you replace it. Like don't blindly order it based upon the batteries that I have listed. Make sure you check the PDF and also make sure you actually check the battery itself in the knife. If the knife doesn't have a battery in it already, then you can probably figure it out maybe 95% of the time, based upon the PDF and based upon the my description, but just don't bank on it 100%. Okay, so now down to changing the batteries, and there's really, it looks like there's pretty much two types of batteries. There's the CR 1225. This is a pretty common battery, and also there's like three batteries. I think I have two of them. And then there's the 389, also SR1130Ws. They're, go by different descriptors. And what is this last one? I think this is the same. Oh, yeah. Okay. The CR 1220s. So I think these cover the big batteries, the three big batteries that the Swiss Army knives use. Because I ended up picking up some over the years. I think the Swiss Card uses a different one. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to first figure out why it looks dark and washed out. I hope that doesn't look like that on the camera. Okay, so let's take a look at the knives themselves. And some of these knives are older than others, and some of them are out of production, and you probably won't run into them. But just for completeness sake, I tried to include everything that I had available for us to take a look at. The first one I want to look at is this one. This is my knife, my everyday carry knife, and this is a Cybertool Light. And a lot of the knives, well, actually, I think all of the knives nowadays, the 91mm knives, they have a light like this one. And the way you change the battery on this one, what you do is you open it up like so, and there's a little, let's see if you can see it, there's a little like panel right here, and all you do is you just basically pop off the panel and and replace the batteries like so. And this one takes, it takes the CR 1225s like so. And all you gotta do, I see there's basically like 3 little studs right here. There's a stud here, here, and here. And it just pops back on. It's actually relatively easy to change. And you just pinch it back down, and you put one of the batteries back in the wrong way, and so you gotta pop it back out and redo it. So such things do happen sometimes. So make sure you put the battery back in the right way. I was kind of suspecting this might be the case, where one needs to go positive and one needs to go negative. So we'll flip this one over. We'll flip this one over, I said. There we go. Wow, just not cooperating today, are you, battery? Alright. And again, there's a little, can you see that little plastic like lip thing right there? It goes in this little notch to help get everything lined back up. And as you can see, thanks to my gross incompetence the first time, we also know that one goes positive, one goes negative. Alright. So that's how you replace the batteries for the lights, for like the Swiss tool light. There's like a Spartan light and I want to say a traveler light, I think. Okay, anyway, so that's how you replace that one. Now if you have a Swiss card light, as you can see with this one, there's a light. Yeah, I guess you can see it. There's a light. Let me show you. There's a little light there. And the way you replace this one is you slide it forward to turn it on, and you slide it backward to replace the battery. And you just slide it backward, and it pops out. Yeah, there we go. You slide it backward, and it pops out like so. And this one takes the CR 1025. And again, you just slide it back in, push it back down, like so. So that's how you replace that one. Alright, now this is a classic light, if I remember correctly. I'll include links in the description to all of these, and to the batteries and stuff like that. I think this is an older one, so this might be one of the ones that's not exactly the right, not the current battery, but it still would come out the same way. And if you look right here, I bump up the camera. If you look right here, you see there's a little door. I guess you can see the little door, right? There's a little door right there. And if you want to get the battery out, there's a hole on the other side. And all you gotta do is stick a paper clip or whatever in through there, and it pops the battery out, like so. Now this one doesn't have like a door, it has basically a plastic piece. And so all you do, when you want to change the battery, is you pop the battery out. And this one is a, let's see if I can see what it is. It's a CR, it's a CR 1025. It's just like the Cybertool, the Swiss card. So for this one, slide it in and pop the door back on. And I've learned a secret from trying to do this before with gloves on. It's easier to use your Swiss Army knife to do it. So all you gotta do is the door slides back on like so, and pop it back in, and it lights up just as good as it did before, which is not very well, because this one needs a new battery, I think. Alright, so that's that one. Now, this is a signature light, and this one looks like it's the same, I think. I want to double check though. I want to make sure this isn't one of the ones with the door. So again, there's an opening in the bottom, there's a door on the other side. You just push in and pop. Okay, this one is one of the ones with the door, it looks like. Yeah. Okay, this one has a door. Some of them have like a little flap thing right here. And I think this is one of the newer ones, and this is one of the older ones. So just be aware of the differences, and also the different batteries. I think this one is a, yeah, this one is that watch battery, the 389 or the SR 1130. So again, just double check your batteries to make sure, because you don't want to end up with the wrong batteries for your knife. And again, it just pops back on, no problems. This one has a door though. I thought there was a difference there. Alright, the next one, this is a Midnight Mini Champ. And this one I think is another, yeah, this one is another one with a door. So again, you just, oops, you just pop it. You just push in and pop it out. And as you can see, this one, same battery as that other one. I think the newer ones of these have that watch battery. Alright. Now, this one is a weird one. And the reason I picked this one is because it's kind of, there aren't many Swiss Army knives that have batteries on both scales. This is the laser pointer and presenter mouse version. This is the presentation master. And the deal with this one is it's very similar to these in that it has the door. And again, you just pop it in and it comes out. And this again looks like the watch batteries. So the only difference here is that you just have two scales, and again, same deal, you just pop out the battery. Alright, now the next one, this knife is a Voyager, which is, it's a bit of an older knife. I think it got discontinued in like 2008, something like that. But this kind of scale is very similar. And if you look right here, you see there's no hole or anything at the top to use to pop the battery out. But what you have is, yeah, on the bottom, you have like a little lip right here. And all you do is you take your little micro screwdriver and you stick it in there and you open the door. You open the little thing and the battery comes out. And this one takes the CR 1225 like the other ones. So not too bad. Alright, so that's how you get those out. Now the last one is really kind of a weird one. Alright, this is a, okay, I want to make sure I tell you the right thing. It's a SuperTimer. There's a Victorinox TimeKeeper and a Victorinox SuperTimer. I think it's a TimeKeeper. Anyway, these were watches that had a clock on them, and it was like an analog clock. And this is one of the knives, as I sort of grew up and got older carrying Swiss Army knives, I started carrying a Swiss Champ, and then when the SuperTimer came out, I switched to the SuperTimer because I thought it was awesome that it had a clock. And then I ended up switching to the big Cyber Tool, and then I switched to the Cyber Tool Lite after that. But so this is one of my old everyday carry knives, and as you can probably see, it's got like it's bent here and there. It's got little dents. I had to like rebend that with a pair of pliers, and like the face of the clock has just been beaten up awfully bad. So I mean, it's had a tough life. But this one has batteries, so I figured I'd show you how to replace the batteries on this one too. The way you do this is you pry off. This clock face comes out, right? Like so. It's been forever since I took this off. I probably should just pull out the battery. Alright. It comes out like so, right? And so you have the clock face. And then on the back, oops. And then on the back of it, there's this little plastic thing, and you just pop it off. And the battery's in there. Good, I took the battery out. So anyway, the battery goes in here, and it takes a little bitty watch battery. I don't remember the name of the size of the battery though. Let me see real quick. See if it says it on the back anywhere. Battery doesn't tell you. It tells you the voltage and whatnot, but not super useful. It does say it's water resistant though, which I never dropped this Swiss Army knife in a toilet or anything, so I don't know. I never tested it. I am glad I thought to pull the battery out. But anyway, so those are the batteries and the way to change the batteries for Swiss Army knives. At least for the Victorinox ones. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, or if I can explain anything any better, just let me know in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments if I missed anything. And in the description, I tried to put as many useful links as possible, including, and there's also, I posted the Victorinox PDF I found. There's a Google Docs link to it that will open the PDF. So you can check out the PDF from Victorinox, and you can look at my description, and that should tell you, that should at least point you in the right direction for batteries. And I included links to the batteries as well. And these batteries are super cheap. I think it's like, I don't know. On Amazon, it was like 10 batteries for under $10. A couple of the batteries, it was like 80 batteries for $8 or something like that. They're not super expensive. And as you can tell, I have batteries left, and I've used a lot of Swiss Army knives that take batteries over the years. So probably you're going to have to buy batteries once, and then you'll never need to buy the batteries again because you're going to get a bunch of them. Anyway, I hope that helps out and has been informative and useful. If you have any ideas or anything you'd like me to take a look at, or if you have any questions about anything, let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have an excellent day.